Hello, folks. My name's Grumpy, and I've noticed recently, because of this pandemic, that uh, charity collectors are thinning the ground. So many rules and regulations don't let them carry out what they've been doing for years. Uh, so I thought I would try a wee bit of modern technology to reach out to anybody who might accidentally or unfortunately fall into this posting. I'd like to sing a little song what I wrote to commemorate Armistice Day. It was written a few years ago to recognise the renovation works carried out in our local village on the War Memorial. Because in the course of the works and the general conversations, a few things came to light, a bit thought-provoking. Bear with me, because this isn't the easiest thing I've ever done. It's not my scene, really. I've been a bit let down by all the good folks who are going to help me make this epic. COVID, I suspect, will get the blame, but I believe things might be personal choices involved. My film production team, bless them, have just let me know that they are trapped in a tier 3 and can't come into my tier 1. My makeup lady has just told me there's absolutely nothing she can do for me, and the hairdresser has gone out in sympathy. The sound and recording man called off, claiming temporary deafness, so I'm left to my own devices. Sure, make it. Ho ho. Right. The first thing to remember about 1914 was that there was no such thing as media coverage. In the first place, the BBC didn't appear until 1922, so no big stories released there. The armed forces consisted of professional soldiers and sailors who made this their life. And then there were volunteers, willing or otherwise, who were recruited by persuasive men to take the king's shilling. I suppose many of you recognise Kitchener's picture on the big posters with a big index finger pointing out, "Your country needs you." As war progressed and volunteers couldn't fill the gap, but it was still 1916 before conscription was invoked. In cities, it wasn't too bad, with pubs and shops and workplaces and general biz providing gossip opportunities but in small remote places, folk relied on information coming from people they trusted, local leaders, doctors, members of the clergy, school teachers, people they trusted and respected. Currently, there's a growing skepticism about 1914 and war in general, and I'd like to think that the tenets of trust and respect which prevailed in 1914 come through in this wee song. So I'll apologise for my guitar playing. I had a wee bit of an accident a while ago and it's taken the edge off my expertise. I have contemporaries who haven't noticed the difference. They came from farm and forestry, from croft and village too. They were called and went, and lives were spent, so the world might rise anew. They just left their lands in others' hands, each father and each son. Simple, honest folk of honour spoke, and duty to be done. They came from farm and forestry, from croft and village too. They were called and went, and lives were spent, so the world might rise anew. There are those who say that's long ago, better left unsaid, unsung. This stone survives, we live free lives because men like them died young. They came from farm and forestry, from croft and village too. They were called and went, and lives were spent, so the world might rise anew. Not all returned from conflict there, in air and sea, on hill. These names say we did not forget. I hope we never will. They came from farm and forestry, from croft and village too. They were called and went, and lives were spent, so the world might rise anew. They were called and went, and lives were spent, so the world might rise anew. Thank you. There'll be details about how you can send your money to where it's going to go. But thanks very much for listening. Bye.